Debaters, can I please request you to just rename it to include your debate and maybe whether you're, A1,
Yeah,
so affirmative and speaker number. So,
I think I am A2. Okay.
perfect.
I think I'm A2.
I will look at the agenda. Give me a second.
Yes, sir, you are A2.
Thank you, sir. And you are N3.
N3, yes.
Yes, please don't swap with N2.
Oh, sorry, you're making me feel very embarrassed now.
You don't know how much relief I had when it's on agenda.
I am quietly noting down all of this, okay?
Hi,
Oh
good
my,
evening.
Oh my God. The dreaded minutes of the meeting.
minutes of the.
I think
Very soon we will not know whether to dread the debate more or the minutes more.
yes. And we have to put some rule to say that, the minutes of the meeting can only start at the start of the meeting.
Have you met me yet? Am I one for the rules?
No harm in giving a shot.
Smita, we still can't hear you.
Still can't hear me?
Now we can,
Yes.
yes.
Now we can.
That was scary because I have to ask a lot of questions to people today. Hi Usha, hi Sharon, hi Sandeep sir, hi Karthikeyan, hi Ajita, hi Madam President, hi Deepa ma'am.
Good evening, Smita.
And
TMOD is here. As is our division director. Good evening, Ahanya. Welcome.
Hi, Anya.
Hi, good evening. Hi, Ka.
Hey everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Stephen.
That's the most boring hi I've ever received in Tech Debates.
Hi, Stephen.
Hi, Stephen. Good evening.
Oh, Ajita, thank you. Thank you, finally. Now I feel welcome.
You'll feel that we are all boring for you.
No, you
What we have to welcome, you're part of Take Debate.
guys are boring. You don't have to prove it. That's the point. I just lost all the crowd with that one.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
How are you?
I know.
Even you froze.
I haven't frozen. I'm waiting for your response. I said, hi, how are you?
Your image in my PC is just frozen. And the names keep changing, but it's only your image which is there. Suddenly I had your face and
even internet wants you to see him continuously.
Exactly. Shamali, hi. Haven't seen you in so long.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you? Hi, Auntie.
What a pleasure to see you. Hi, dear. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Pleasure to see who exactly, Anuradha?
Me.
Not you, Stephen.
Yeah.
Vijay, your video
Why
is
did
not
you want this to be?
connected.
Hi,
can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Okay, for some reason today my video is not working. I think I'll just leave again and I'll have to restart my laptop because it's not working. By the way, hi to everyone and good evening. And bye. See you in a while.
Before you disappear, hi Vijaya.
Hi, Smita.
Karthik.
Bye, Smita.
Bye Smita. Bye Vijaya.
Hi Vijay, you can go put your makeup on and come back.
Hi Vinod.
Hi Vinod.
Hello.
No,
Not
yeah,
sure.
Vinod
Ah, no,
Panikkar.
that was for Panikkar.
Sorry.
Panikkar.
He's been there for a long time.
Good evening, President ma'am.
Good evening, Anuradha.
Good evening.
Not Panikkar after a long time. Good to see you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, Vinod. Good evening.
Lavanya, that book you put up, no, it's a very interesting book.
Which one? I put up 2 books.
The Japanese one.
Chinese one. Oh,
Chinese. Okay.
I was lost.
Planet, yeah. It's the same side of our world.
Yes. Do we have all the role players? Let's just take a quick.
My teammates are missing.
Your teammates are missing. Who is missing? Let's see.
Ravi and Sudhir.
Okay. Ravi and Sudhir. Deepa is here. Sandeep is here. Ahanya, Steven, Divyaraj. Okay.
Sharon, Chechi, I'm the host now, no?
Yeah, I've made you.
What you call a chechi?
Yeah, she's Chechi, no? To all of us, she's universal Chechi. Vinod, you don't know?
Auntie, Sharon is Chechi, Akka. Okay.
I might hit you, okay? Virtually also.
Even why do you want to take a chance when you invite trouble?
This is
Auntie
all
and all.
from Burj. Burj is a family, you know.
Sharon Chechi, Anuradha Andy, Sandeep Uncle. I can do it. It's okay.
What is an auntie, uncle, and all?
This is what happens when we get our cavaliers here. They all grow on to becoming Toastmasters. Now see, no one calls Karthik uncle. Just look at that.
Anna, Karthik Anna.
Anna. He doesn't escape that.
You know, if Rajnikant cannot be called uncle, I cannot be called uncle. You know?
Oh, I totally support that point.
Oh my God, he set his standards so high here with Rajnikant.
That's why he's appearing with தலைவர் in the back to say, okay, guys, remember.
You know, there is a Tamil thing called Iru Kodugal. No? If you want to make one line small, put a bigger line next to it.
Okay, Ravi is just
Put
joining.
an older man next to you, then you look very young.
இவ்வளவு திமிரம்பா உங்களுக்கு பா.
Who's that?
That's right.
You know, that is called Gethu, not Timuru.
That's Gethu.
That's the limit of my Tamil.
Still, it was good.
So Ahanya, Karthik அண்ணா ஒரு தடவை சொன்னா 100 தடவை சொன்ன மாதிரி, கரெக்ட்ல?
Yeah, 100 தடவை பா. அவர் யாரு? Mas.
When is the next edition of your famous MOMs coming in?
All of them will be released, even the ones I missed. Don't worry, they will all be out.
You release it in phases, Vinod. We need time to read.
Okay, I'm back, but I'm again just a voice. I think you'll have to make do with my voice today.
Vijaya, it seems your function button is disabled. You'll see that in the first keys.
In the
F8.
keys.
Yeah.
Okay.
F8. Just click that key.
So I have to just click that key?
Yes.
Okay,
F8.
done it.
No. Somewhere you have disabled.
Somewhere I have disabled. No, just can't figure out.
Vijay, I need
Maybe
to...
you can press FN. There's a FN button beside the control button and then press that, just that key.
F8.
Because sometimes it happens like that, or like it works like that as well.
Yeah, I pressed the FN key, Pranav, but
FN with that camera. Like for
with
me,
the
it's
cam.
FN and F8.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. No, not
Vinod,
working.
Kanikar, are you in studio?
I've come.
Hello? Who is
Hey,
asking?
thanks, Pranav. You're my superstar today.
Look at his chair. The
Hi
dance.
Ramesh Menon, hi Ravi.
Pranav, what are the keys?
Namaskar.
FN and the
Vinodji, how
whatever
are you?
the key which shows on the camera for the
Ah.
camera like the stripe.
Namaskaram.
Thank you. Thank you.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram to everyone.
Namaskaram.
Hi, Ahanya. Welcome.
Still the Onam effect is
Hi,
there.
Vijaya. Thank you.
Sandeepji, how are
Hi,
you?
Usha.
I am very good, sir. Thank you very much.
Good. Hi, Ahanya. All the best.
Hi, Na. Thank you. Thanks, Na.
You started
Stephen,
nail
why
bite
so
now?
serious?
The timer has shown the red light, so I think I'll start.
Just one thing. Anuradha, breakout rooms are.
Hello, Shanti. How are you?
How many breakout rooms do we want?
Hello, sir. I'm good. How are you?
Welcome to Take Debate. How are you, Shanti?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Good. All good at India?
Yeah, all good in India.
Very good.
I'll
Any plan to
start.
come to Dubai soon? After COVID?
I don't think so. Not anytime soon, for sure.
Anyway, glad that you joined us tonight.
I'm glad to. Thank
Good.
you.
Glad to see you.
Let's start,
All the
Pranav.
Yeah.
Anuradha ji, how are you?
1 second, Pranav. Anuradha,
Yeah.
breakout rooms are okay, right? 2 breakout rooms. You will take care.
Yeah. The breakout rooms are created. As soon as it's time to move them, I'll do that.
Okay.
And you just WhatsApp me on the what kind of polls you want, and I'll do it.
Okay. The normal ones. Best debate.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I begin. Yeah. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to the 34th one-day international game of Take Debate. I am Pranav Trikannar, one of the commentators. I mean to say, you're acting sergeant at arms for this game of the DPL, the Debate Premier League. Today, you will see boundaries and sixes in the form of a debate. When all the wickets fall, we will be advised by a group of evaluators on how the teams have performed and how they can improve to make their game better. But before the second innings starts, there will be a table topic session where googlies will be thrown at you, which will help you better handle googlies in real life situations. Coming to what is Toastmasters, it is a non-profit organization established in 1924 by Dr. Ralph C. Smedley. And it helps members to develop oral communication and leadership skills. Some rules to be followed during today's game of DPL are the 3 taboo topics, that is sex, religion, and politics, should not be used throughout the meeting. As we are in a virtual meeting, keep yourselves on mute so that it does not disturb the speaker who is speaking. If you don't want to show yourself on camera, you can switch that off. Please write, rather type your name on your Zoom screen instead of your mobile numbers, pet names, or the type of phone you use during this game, as it will be distracting to the players and we would definitely want to connect with our spectators. Encourage the players who are speaking throughout by using the reactions button on the panel below. The mission of Toastmasters is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. Are the umpires, commentators, captains, players, and spectators ready for today's game? Can I have a thumbs up? I hope you enjoyed today's DPL, that is the Debate Premier League. Before we begin this game, let me call upon our dynamic umpire to give us a go-ahead and share with us a few words of wisdom and encouragement. Please put your hands together for our charming and elegant president, Toastmaster Lavanya.
That was a wonderful, wonderful Sergeant at Arms opening. You know, at Take Debate, there is, every time I see an innovative way of, doing the Sergeant at Arms role. So I am the president of this Take Debate Control Board. I'm very bad with cricket. So wonderful job, Pranav, and this is his first time he's an acting president, and he has done an excellent job. By the power vested by the Toastmasters International and the club constitution, I declare meeting number 34 open. Now, first let me acknowledge the presence of dignitaries, and we are privileged to have amongst our members District 105 PR DTM Deepa Surendran, Division L Director Stephen George, Area 50 Director Sharon Kurvila, and today Sharon is here not as a member, she's a member of Take Debate, but today she is here here doing her official visit as an area director. So let's all put our, good behavior. She will be scoring, marking. So yes. Now let's just quickly request all those who have come, all the guests, to give their introduction, their name, what brought them to Take Debate, like who invited them. Who would like to go first?
I think I'll go.
Hi, Rahul.
Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I've been invited here by DTM Divya Raj, and I'm a part of Bush Toastmasters Club. I'm so happy to see a lot of familiar faces. So I'm very happy. Thank you.
Happy to have you, Rahul. Next, we have.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shamli and I'm from IMT Dubai Toastmasters Club, and Lavanya invited me for this meeting, and this is my first virtual meeting of Take Debate, so I'm glad to be back at Take Debate. Thank you.
Welcome, Shamli. We have Devlal.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I invited myself to the meeting.
Welcome. Thank you. That's all. Have I missed anyone? Vinod Panikar. You're mute, Vinod.
I'm muted?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Vinod Panikar. My home club is Dubai Silicon Oasis Toastmasters Club, and I was a member of Take Debate, and I would like to join after October. Thank you.
Oh, that's a good news. We are
Wow, Vinod.
So that's all. Yes. Can I request Pranav to post the agenda on the chat, Zoom chat?
Yes, we'll do that now.
At the meeting, we will have we will be circulating a survey. Please give your feedback on that. I would like to share a small story with you. One day, a man went to Buddha. He had heard a lot about Buddha, and he went to Buddha because he had a lot of problems, just like all of us. He had a lot of problems, and he thought probably Buddha would be might be able to help him out with all his problems. So he went and he said, I am a farmer. I love farming. And at times, my crops fail because there is no rain. At times, the yield is less because there isn't enough rain. I am married. She's a good wife. And in fact, I love her. But at times, it's tiring and she nags a lot. Buddha was listening patiently. Then he went on. I have kids. They are good. But at times, they don't respect me enough. And he went on like this for a while. Buddha was listening patiently. Finally, he wound up and he was expecting Buddha to say something or give a formula to solve all his problems. Instead, Buddha said, I can't help you solve your problems. The man was astonished. He was astonished. Buddha said, we all have problems and we can't do anything about it. Man was furious. What good is of all your teachings if you can't solve the problem? Buddha said, no, we all have problems. In fact, each one of us have 83 problems. But probably I can help you with the 84th problem. Can anyone guess what is the 84th problem which this man had? Anyone would like to give it a try?
He wanted superfood.
No. So the
His ego. His ego.
I couldn't hear that. Anyway.
His ego.
No. The 84th problem is to have a life without any problems. So he then goes on to tell, life is never a straight path. It's a roller coaster ride, always with ups and downs. Expecting to have a life without problem means looking for a unicorn. Be happy that you have problems, because that is what life is called. Why am I sharing this story today is we all have problems. Some people have less problems, some people have a lot more problems. Let's all remember to solve the 84th problem so that all other 83 problems are solved. With that, I would like to introduce you today to the person who will take us through the evening. She's a guest. I didn't take her introduction because I wanted to introduce her. She is a member of Bush. She's been with Bush for the past 1 year. And she's the current Vice President Education. She loves reading. And her favorite books are A Long Walk to Freedom, all Harry Potter books, and Pride and Prejudice. Her favorite writer is Ramaswamy Krishnamurthy, better known by his pen name Kalki. 3 things most people don't know about her. 1, she's working on a fantasy novel. Secondly, her favorite kind of day is being curled up in bed with a book. And third fact, despite being a friendly person, she has an aversion towards phone calls. She's none other than Ahanya Logan. She likes being called Logan. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Miss Logan.
Thank you, Lavanya, for that wonderful introduction. You literally remembered to say every answer for the questions you asked me. That is so sweet of you. Okay, now to move on. Let me start with asking a question. Let me pose a question to all of you. What do you all mean by the word walk. I would like some answers from the audience. What does the word walk means to you? Anybody? Or more like anybody who did not answer that to me when I texted you earlier. Rahul, you're the first person on my screen.
Keep
What
moving.
does the word walk you?
Walk, like walk.
Okay, so walk for you is walking.
Walking, yeah.
Somebody remember Johnny Walker?
Next. Yes. See, answers are coming up. Stephen, Titiam Ramesh, what does walk means to you guys?
For me, it is Johnny Walker walking. Or back paper.
Anything else? Oh,
Progress.
progress. See, when we talk about the word walk, we get a lot of interpretations. It could be just moving from one to another using our two legs. It could be moving forward. It could be having a shot of walker. It could be, I had answers telling that it means freedom for someone. It means moving forward in life for someone. And it just means refreshing walks in the park for someone. So when I was thinking about my theme of the day, the first thing that struck my mind was a walk to remember. Well, it's partially the Nicholas Sparks walk to remember, but also a walk every one of us take daily from the moment we were born to today. We are moving physically. Yes, we are taking a walk. You hold the hands of your loved one, stroll down the beach. You're taking a walk. You sit somewhere when you're feeling very lonely and you're thinking of the beautiful moments you spent with your parents, friends, loved ones, kids. You're taking a walk down the memory lane. So the walk varies. But one thing that is constant is every single one of us are walking. Every single second of our lives. We are never idle. Yesterday, I attended a meeting with the theme Chatterbox, which means our inner mind keep on talking to us non-stop. It doesn't stop. Even when I'm looking at all these faces in the screen, I do have boxes. Okay, oh, the green light has come up. I need to stop talking. I need to wrap up my session. Even that is a kind of walk because your mind keeps on walking, reminds you of all the things that we have to do. I'll elaborate on it further on later. Before that, let me introduce my most important role player of the day, the person who's displaying that green light for me and is going to do that for every one of us because we need to start on time and finish on time because we are within the time constraints given. Let me introduce Toastmaster Ajita Seva, the lady who inspired me with the choice of her reading. I have seen her on and off in Burj meetings, in other meetings. But what struck me most about her is when she had this post in her Facebook wall. There was a trend going on a few months back about posting your favorite books and, getting everyone to read them and stuff. And she had Kalki's books. And I was like, wow, I see someone in Dubai who reads those. Because it has been so long, I see someone who publicly proclaims, I read a famous Tamil book. So that struck me as awesome when I saw her in screen in Facebook. And when I asked her a question, what does the word walk means to her? She said moving forward. So put your hands together for Ajita Sevam, Toastmaster Ajita, who's going to diligently watch us speak, touch, and moving on next. Since the meeting is all about debate, we have a lady who is going to conduct the actual debate. She's going to call upon the people on stage and have them doing all their job. But I will not tell you what she is going to do because that's her job. But let me introduce Toastmaster Vijaya Sukumaran, Toastmaster Vijaya Sukumaran. Why am I stressing her name? Is because one of the questions I asked her when I was trying to introduce her is, how do I pronounce your name? Send me an actual voice note telling me how I can pronounce her name. So let's welcome Toastmaster Vijaya Sukumar. For her, walk means morning walk, which makes her feel energized and alive. And a walk she remembers in her life is the treetop walk, as MC Richie, if I'm not mistaken, a trail in Singapore with a dear friend of hers. So let's always welcome Toastmaster Vijaya to take over from me. Toastmaster Vijaya.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ahanya. And good evening to all of you once again. Actually, when you talk about walk and taking down a walk down memory lane, a quote of the Chinese Lao Tzu comes to mind, which is often used by every Toastmaster. And the quote goes as, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." However, today I want to put a twist to it. I came across this quote just a few days back and with a little twist, and the twist ties in with the topic for the debate. And the twist is, the journey of 1,000 pounds begins with a single burger. So why burger and why pounds? Well, when I began my life on planet Earth, I began as a foodie. Until today, I'm a foodie. It's the greatest love story of all times, you know. Like George Bernard Shaw had said, there is no sincere love than the love of food. And that is not more true than for a person like me. So I'm often thinking about food. So when I had to think about a topic for debate, I didn't want to think technology. I didn't want to think any other debate. I said, let's talk about food. Food for thought, food for the gut. My gut said, go with superfoods. So here I am with a topic, and the motion for today is superfoods are a marketing gimmick. This is a topic, I don't want to talk more on the topic because I have very strong feelings about this, and I don't want to side on either side of the debate because I have friends on both sides, the positive as well as the negative. And I think we have a superhero team this time on both sides. Truly distinguished people on our teams whom you're going to meet. But before we go on to meet the debaters who are going to battle it out, let me just run through the rules. Now, the debate for this evening is going to be the cross-examination style of debate, which will be followed. And there will be 3 speakers on either side. Our timer for this debate, as mentioned, is Toastmaster Ajita. The timing rules are what I would like to state first. The timing rules are the team captains. The opening speeches will be for 5 minutes. The green light will be shown at 4 minutes 30 seconds. The yellow at 4 minutes 40. Red will be shown at 4 minutes 50. And the microphone will be muted at 5. I think Pranav is who's taking care of the muting of the microphone?
Ajita.
Ajita. Okay, Ajita. Fine. Then there will, after the opening speeches by both the captains, after each opening speech, there will be a cross-examination segment. And the cross-examination segment is going to be for 2 minutes. The green light will be shown at 1 minute, yellow light will be shown at 1 minute 30, and the red light will be shown at 2, after which the microphones will be muted again. Then the second and the third speaker from either side, both the affirmative and the negative, will be speaking for 3 minutes. Green light to be shown at 2 minutes 30, yellow at 2 minutes 40, and red light to be shown at 2:50, and then muting. After the final summary speech has been given by the captains, a 2-minute breakout session will be allocated. So the teams can use the breakout rooms and discuss before giving the summary speech. The final summary will be presented by the captains. No new material is to be allowed during the summary speech. The moderator, that is me, I'll have the right to intervene if the speaker gives new material. Now, let us meet our warriors for this particular round. Our affirmative side team captain is DTM Ravi Musad. Second speaker, DTM Ramesh Aman. And the third speaker, DTM Sudhir Kunat. In our negative team, we have our captain, DTM Deepa Surendran, the only lady in this entire debate. So a big round of applause to her. Second speaker, DTM Vinod Panikar, and the final speaker, wrapping it up, will be DTM Sandeep Vengsarkar. So without further ado, I think I'm going to wish them all the very best of luck. Let the battle begin. Now, may I invite DTM Ravi Musad, our team captain for the affirmative side, to come and present his opening statement on today's debate, resolved that superfoods are a marketing gimmick. Over to you, DTM Ravi.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, good. Debate moderator, my worthy opponents, and ladies and gentlemen. My team and I strongly support the motion superfoods are a marketing gimmick. The term gimmick is easy to define. As for Oxford dictionaries, gimmick means a trick or device that is intended to attract attention, publicity, or trade. The term superfood, on the other hand, is difficult to define. The term food is defined by Oxford dictionaries as any nutritious substance that people or animals eat or drink or that plants absorb in order to maintain life and growth. And the term superfood is defined as a nutrient-rich food considered to be especially beneficial for health and well-being. What makes any food a superfood? We should probably ask this question to the people who invented the term in the first place. Who is that? Not any dietitian, not any scientist, not any doctor. The earliest known usage of this term was by the United Fruit Company during the early 20th century as a part of their marketing campaign for the import of bananas to United States. So if you ask them what is superfood, they would reply banana, because that's what they want to sell. Yes, the term originated as a marketing gimmick. Today, people around the globe are facing health and fitness issues due to the current lifestyle. Now, they are always in pursuit of a magic bullet that will solve their health and fitness problems forever, and hence, superfood label results in super business and super sales. As per Mintel research, there was a 36% increase in food items that are labeled as superfoods in 2015 alone. Cancer Research UK, which is a cancer research charity organization which is based in UK, categorically stated that superfoods are just a marketing tool which is with hardly any scientific evidence. In 2007, European Food Safety Authority banned labeling food items as superfoods unless there is substantial scientific research-based evidence and specific benefits are stated on the product. It is not possible for any food to be called superfood in general, because superfoods are considered to be super healthy in general, and there is no food that is healthy for everyone. One food that always comes up on the top when you talk about superfoods is kale. But if you're a person taking anticoagulant drug, for example, it can interfere with that drug. Eggs are considered as superfoods by many. However, there is a Harvard physician's health study that states that daily consumption of eggs can shorten your lifespan. So it is impossible to term any food as superfood, unless, of course, you want to sell that to someone. So one of the most famous superfoods nowadays is quinoa. Now, quinoa is nutritionally very similar to lentil, but you will seldom see lentil being labeled as a superfood anywhere. Why? Because there is no money in terming lentil as a superfood. It's established, that market. Quinoa has to find a new market. That's why it's termed as a superfood. Why do people keep buying superfood if there is no real benefit, if there is no benefit in their experience? Now, University of Adelaide conducted a study on superfoods in 2013. Obviously, they found out that superfood is created by marketing and media. However, they also found that people really are skeptical about the benefits of superfoods. However, they buy it as an extra insurance on their health. They know, I mean, they have a feeling that there is no special benefit, but just in case, if there is any benefit, let me get that. That's the only reason why people are buying it, and marketers are encashing it. So to conclude, superfood originated as a marketing gimmick. It is being used as a marketing gimmick. It was banned somewhere in European Union because it is a marketing gimmick, and it is found in studies by nutritionists and researchers around the world that it is just a marketing gimmick. What more do we need to pass this motion? Superfoods are a marketing gimmick. I rest my opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Ravi. May I now invite negative team captain DTM Deepa to cross-examine DTM Ravi.
Good evening, and let me ask our opening speaker from the affirmative side that what was the relation between fitness and superfood?
Most of the superfoods are marketed like they are excellent for fitness and health. That's the way they market it.
Is that true or false?
Of course, it is true. That is the way they market it. Yes.
But you can't say it is true or false.
Which is true or
which
false?
Is true, yeah. Which is true, yeah.
No,
that is a fact here that we are
I didn't understand. No, I didn't understand the question. What is the question?
Okay. Question is, you mentioned fitness over here. What is the relation between fitness and superfood?
The relation is this: marketers use that fitness term for selling it. That's the relation.
And in your opinion, superfoods are not helping the fitness people? Or
what I'm saying is there is nothing. There is no definition for superfood in the first place specifically. So I can't say. Like all good foods are like good for health. Yeah.
And whatever superfoods you have mentioned over here, they are all healthy foods, right?
I didn't mention any superfood. I didn't mention any superfood in my speech.
Quinoa.
No, they label it as superfood. That's what I told. It is not actually superfood. Or it's like a food. It's just a food like any other food. Good food.
It's a good food. And then food is like, can't be gimmick, right? We need that, no?
No, so when you call it superfood, it's a gimmick. It's just like any other food. When there are equally good foods, and one you say superfood, it's just for selling. It's marketing. That's
all. So all these people who are buying these superfoods are like, they are.
I told the answer to that already in the speech.
Let me start.
Yeah. May I invite DTM Deepa to give her constructive speech against the motion.
Dear Toastmasters and my worthy opponents, this house will discuss the resolution of superfoods as are a marketing gimmick. No, we, the opposition team, clearly state that we are against the motion. Now let us examine the motion in detail. There are three key words in the motion: superfoods, marketing, and gimmick. And we as a team will be approaching the topic looking in detail of these three words. My speech will be revolving around the superfoods. My second speaker will focus on marketing, and the third speaker will focus on gimmick. Firstly, the Oxford Dictionary has a definition for superfood. It defines as a nutrient-rich food considered to be especially beneficial for health and well-being, while the Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines it as a super nutrient-dense food loaded with vitamins, minerals, fiber, antioxidants, and or phytonutrients. Generally speaking, superfoods refer to foods, especially fruits and vegetables, whose nutrient content confers a health benefit above that of the other normal foods. Look at the few foods termed as superfoods. Blueberries are one of the more popular and well-known superfoods and have been studied frequently by scientists curious about their health properties. The berries, high concentrated of a group of antioxidant plant compounds, especially those called anthocyanins, has been reported to inhibit the growth of cancerous human colon cells as well as kill them off. Other fruits which have received superfood status include acai berries and pomegranates. Studies on pomegranate juice have suggested that it can lower blood pressure in the short term as well as reduce oxidative stress in healthy people like us. These are both significant risk factors for heart disease. Let me list out the details of the research papers from which the above information has been collected. Research paper presented by YW and others in the Journal of Agriculture Food Chem in 2005 showed that phenolic compounds from blueberries can inhibit colon cancer cell proliferation in induced apoptosis. Research paper presented by Lishandalar and others in the International Journal of Food Science Nutrition in 2005 showed total oxidant scavenging capacities of acai fruits. Therefore, the point that this speech will justify is that a superfood is simply a very healthy food and is not some sort of magical or commercially purposed device that is sold to the general public. Let me also list out a few more superfoods to increase the awareness of the house of the benefits associated with the superfood and consuming them. We have leafy greens, collards, radish greens, spinach, broccoli, and cabbages, which are rich in vitamins A, C, and K, fiber, calcium, and other minerals. Beans and whole grains are superfoods. Also, they are rich in low-calorie, low-fat protein. Whole grains such as our rice, South Indians matta rice, named as such because they are not stripped of the nutrient-containing bran and germinating part during processing. Quinoa, our own sabudana, is another superfood, a remarkable source of protein. Ladies and gentlemen, if you consider the above definition and other examples, you will observe the following. None of the items mentioned are new to mankind and have existed and are available freely in nature. No single organization owns the rights to produce or sell these products. The research propagating a food as superfood is not done by any commercial organization, but prominent universities across the world. In summary, is there something like superfood? Yes, there are foods. Some examples mentioned earlier in my speech, which have better nutritional value than others in the same category or a category of foods which give better nutritional value than the other category. As I mentioned earlier, my other team members will speak on the marketing and gimmick parts later. Over to you, moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM. May I now DTM Ramesh from the affirmative team to cross-examine DTM Deepa.
Thank you, moderator. And DTM Deepa, my first question to you is, you mentioned superfood and all the benefits. Does anything which has been categorized as a superfood benefit everybody?
See, pomegranate. Okay, just imagine if you eat, what is harm in it?
Excuse me, Deepa. My question was anything which is categorized as superfood and you say it's got benefits, does it have benefits for everybody?
There is no problem having any kind of superfood because it is all these are naturally available food.
Okay. Are you aware that kale, which is categorized as a superfood, interacts with a drug,
Why you're taking
anticoagulant
it
drug?
together, no?
Sorry?
Why you're taking both together?
I'm not taking it together. If there is somebody who is on a medication, anticoagulant medication, this kale interferes with the drug.
See, normal food also, like for example, yogurt and fish, we won't take it together. See, if there is an allergy for that particular person, you have to be careful about that.
Okay,
We cannot have
yogurt
all
is,
the normal food also is not applicable or not good for everybody. You have to be
yogurt is
careful.
not,
Some
yogurt is
allergies
not,
are there for each and every person. See, for me, I can't take prawn. However, I like it, I can't take
Deepa,
prawn. So it's a normal food.
I think you answered my
Please.
question.
Okay,
Superfood
thank you.
is not okay, it's good for everybody. Why do you think EU has put a ban that anything cannot be categorized as superfood?
Because they want a standardization for EU. That is not applicable for the entire world, especially Middle East where we are sitting.
So whatever is EU given by EU, that is invalid.
No, I'm not telling that, but we don't have to discuss that during this debate, right?
Okay. Thank you, DTM Ramesh. You may now take the floor and present your constructive speech.
Thank you, moderator. My worthy opponents have attempted to defend something which is indefensible. There is nothing which is very clear category of superfood. It's a very general category which says that something which has got more nutrients than others, and there are no standard yardstick to say that if a particular food has got these kind of properties, this is going to get categorized as a superfood. Everything gets camouflaged about it's something which has got more, which has got less, and there is no clear defined scientific yardstick on how do you define a superfood. That is specifically the reason EU has given a ban to say that you cannot just categorize something as a superfood without qualifying it specifically to say that this particular food has got these particular nutrients and this particular health benefits for these types of people. So there is nothing called as a common definition of a superfood. And as my opening speaker was also mentioned to say that the concept of superfood was created during the World War I, and the first superfood marketing which went on was for banana. And because people said that, okay, we had a lot of bananas, how do we sell it? We categorize saying these are all the benefits of bananas and we're going to categorize it as a superfood. Now, the categorization of superfood keeps changing by time. If there is something called a superfood, that has to remain constant for mankind throughout the life. He started off for saying that now one of the superfoods categorized as coconut oil. He says you have coconut oil, it has got fantastic properties, the kind of things what is there. It's found only in mother's milk, and coconut oil is categorized as a superfood. Just a decade back, coconut oil was saying that every spoon of coconut oil is a spoon of poison because of the saturated fats, 80 to 90% of saturated fats, which is there in coconut oil. But still, it is being categorized now as a superfood. And a worthy opponent mentioned about to say that, okay, spinach, radish, greens, and everything is superfood. Everything, if everything is superfood, is there anything super in that? So everything is dependent on what is it people want you to consume. For their information, even Coca-Cola was marketed as a superfood, something which is going to be you're down on energy, have Coca-Cola, you will get energy. So it all depends on what you want to sell, and we rest our case.
Vijaya, you're muted.
Okay, thank you, DTM Ramesh. And now taking on center stage will be DTM Vinod Panikar from the team Negative, who will initially cross-examine DTM Ramesh and then he will present his views on the topic under the debate. So over to you, DTM Vinod.
Thank you very much, DTM Vijay. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Coca-Cola was defined as superfood. Can you give me any evidence? Can you throw me any light which publication it was published, sir?
Okay, it was published. I can share that article with you on various
no,
things.
okay. So it's fine. It's fine. So you don't have it in your mind. Okay, it's fine. Now, do you think that superfood, as you rightly said, is a very general category? So can that be one of the reasons why EU is taking time to categorize the types of superfood as superfood? Can it be a possibility?
There are no subtypes of superfood. There is no definition saying that superfood has got these subtypes. There is nothing.
Okay, sir. So I will tell you the types. There are vegetables, there are fruits, there are nuts, there are powdered, and there are other lot of things. Okay. The third thing, okay, that is debunked. EU also can take time. And again, you said that if something is said as a superfood, it should benefit to all. Means, is it something like Buddha or Krishna is giving Ashirwad to everyone that it should work for all? A food depends upon biological thing of a person body, right? A food is energy. So for some people, it may work, some people it may not work, right?
Totally agreed. That is why we say everything should be categorized as food. Superfood is not something saying that, oh, this is much superior to your normal food, which is going to benefit everyone.
For someone who has got diabetes, can bitter gourd be a superfood?
We don't agree the concept of superfood. Something which is this particular food suits you, this type of food does not suit you.
So if a food is good, can we call it super?
There is no definition of super, please.
Okay, so is it good?
It's better, I would say, relatively better.
There is a better food. It's a better food,
not a superfood.
It's okay. So how will we get this to our the market?
Saying that this is a food which has got these qualities.
Okay, thank you for the cross-examination. DTM Vinod, you may now go on with your constructive speech.
Okay, so let me first start with the definition of marketing, which our worthy opponents in the opening speech forgot to mention. Now, marketing is a process by which companies create value for customers and build strong customer relationship. And this is not what I am saying. This is what Philip Kotler is saying. Okay. And what is the aim of marketing? Now, marketing is a very important word in this particular debate, and that was missed by our worthy opponents. The aim of marketing is to create value for customers and to capture value in return. Now, let us evaluate these two value criteria for marketing based on our case in superfood. The first part, value for customers. Our captain gave a long list of benefits of so many superfood, from blueberries to kale to quinoa and many other things. We had a list of at least 200 or 300 foods, but we had to shorten it for our debate, right? So the value is being created. The first part, aim of marketing, is to create value. That is being fulfilled over here. Now the second part is to capture value in return. Now for that, what we need to look at is, according to a market research conducted by Grand View Research Organizations, which provides data to world-renowned academic institutions and Fortune 500 companies to understand the global and regional business environment, which was published on October 2019, it says that the global superfood market size was estimated at USD 137 billion in 2018 and is projected to ascend and compound annual growth rate of 5.9 over a forecast period of 2019 to 2025. Now, growing consumer interest in a healthy diet and wellness benefit has led to thriving food and beverage industry in the recent past and trend in expected to continue over forecast period. This in turn is projected to propel the demand for superfood in the coming year. So now the marketing, the customer is satisfied, the people who are creating the demand and who are supplying the demand, both are there. So if you have a good product, why not supply it to the market? Right? That is the purpose of marketing. Can you argue that marketing is bad? It cannot be argued. We need to do the marketing. We are with you when you say we should not gimmick, right? But marketing, without marketing, how can a business survive? If something is good, that has to go into the market. Now, you conveniently forgot to mention the source of United Food in World War I about the banana. It was published in Harvard Business Review. The same Harvard Medical Review has published on April 13, 2020, that there are 10 superfoods to boost healthy diet.
Thank you so much, DTM Vinod, for your speech. And now the floor is open for Toastmaster Sudhir to cross-examine DTM Vinod. May I invite Toastmaster Sudhir?
Thank you, moderator, and good evening to all the Toastmasters. To my DTM Vinod, I'd like to ask you, you said about creating value. Marketing is a tool to create value. Do you know what sort of value has been created for the companies who did these products? What sort of values has been created for this company, for the companies who did this marketing?
For the companies who produce superfood?
Yes.
They will get profit. And that is the purpose of any business.
That is a business. But then what is sort of value? Is it exponentially we have done it in that manner? Because
I think the compound annual growth rate is 5.9% shown across 5 years. That is a very viable thing for any business. If it was 20 or 30, your question would have been valued. But a 6 to 7% growth of any industry, I think it is a viable thing.
It's supposed to be almost 245% growth rate within the last 15 years. So that is not a normal.
I am talking about 2019 to 2025. Maybe
I'm just talking about 15 years growth rate. If you analyze the entire 15 years growth rate, it is 245%. That's not a normal growth rate which we can achieve, and which is because of the product value, the price what they charge for it, and that's where the superfood concept is coming in. And it is.
See, you are. What are you? I am not getting a question, sir.
So do you think how value the gullible audience, gullible people into this thing? What sort of values created for these gullible people? Is there any research evidence to it?
Yes, there are a lot of, even the Harvard, I told you, the Harvard Medical School on April 13 has put across that there are 10 superfoods that to boost healthy diet. And all the research that has been proven has shown the benefit of all the superfoods that we have mentioned. Can you show one evidence that one of the fruit is not healthy?
Okay, the time for cross-examination is now over. May I now invite Toastmaster Sudhir to present his constructive speech. Toastmaster Sudhir.
Debate moderators, Toastmasters, and my worthy opponent. We as a team stand here to clearly state superfoods are nothing but a marketing gimmick. You've heard about Superman, He-Man, and whatnot, Batman. Who are they? They are just nothing but super heroes or figments of imaginations. It's a fantasy land, and then finally once it gets over, we come back to the reality. So I feel our worthy opponents also have to come back to the reality to understand superfoods are nothing but figments of imagination, where it is being injected into the gullible people saying that it is good. So there has been no records to prove that it is good, but definitely the gullible people go ahead with this thing. It is said that the promises for the future, the promises for the present will be subjected to how well this has been accomplished in the past. when you see what are the details of the superfood in the past, we have seen that besides Coca-Cola, even cigarettes have been shown as to a tool to slim your weight, to reduce your weight. And apart from that, frozen yogurt is also considered as a superfood. Fat-free foods, all these things have been considered as a superfood, and ultimately it has come back to there's nothing super in it. It's a normal food. But then the people who have done this, they have made the money. As it is also said that the pomegranate, our initial speaker said, pomegranate is a superfood, but then she failed to realize that it has got 39% sugar content, and while Coca-Cola, which we always try to reject it, that also forms a 32% as sugar content is there. It's super. This food is gaining value because of there is no clampdown, there is no industry guidelines how to structure it. Because of that, these superfoods are gaining prominence. So it is not due to the value, it is due to the hep ideas of all the people. That's why the superfood concept is gaining. And it is always said that it is the food and the vegetables of the region, food and vegetable of the season, that is what gives you the energy. And it is not a person sitting in India cannot try on a food which is made in Mexico. It is always food for the season, food of the region will thrive. I rest my case, and we stand by that superfoods are a marketing gimmick. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudhir. And now, may I now invite finally DTM Sandeep from Team Negative to cross-examine DTM Sudhir and also articulate his views against the topic. DTM Sandeep.
Yeah. Good evening, Toastmaster Sudhir.
Good evening.
My first question to you, please answer it in a yes or no. Both your opening speakers made a statement that something is defined as a superfood when they want you to consume more of it. Do you agree to this topic, to statement?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. No?
Your two opening speakers made a categorical statement which said something is categorized as a superfood when they want you to consume it more. Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Can you name the they and examples of the they?
They are I can name the companies which have the thing for want that the thing. It is all Californian.
Let me ask you a more specific question.
Yeah,
can you name the they who will benefit for the significant consumption of pomegranates in the world?
I have to look into that company, which is.
Thank you. That's all. That's all. That's all. So the research for all these superfoods, people who mention the superfoods, which companies have come up with this research?
From the Harvard Journal of American Medical Association.
Exactly. Yeah. Medical Association, Harvard, University of Adelaide. And what do they get by marketing these as universities and Harvard?
They have said the ill effects of superfoods. They have not said, I'm
asking, no. We're talking about the research which defined foods as superfoods. There is research existing, right?
It's a private companies funded by the organizations, and 70% of the R&D money is going into these people and balance 30% for marketing.
Yeah. So do you know that all research in all universities is funded by private organizations?
By the private companies are doing it.
And they are doing it for all, right? Not necessarily.
Thank you, DTM Sandeep. You may now proceed with your constructive speech.
Okay. As if you look at what we said, what my opening speakers have of the opposition team and the three speakers, they have not touched upon the topic of gimmick. Now let me give you the definition of gimmick as per the Cambridge Dictionary, and not from a generic thing. Something that is not serious or of real value, that is used to attract people's attention or interest temporarily, especially to make them buy something. Now, are we saying that as these foods which we defined as berries, as pomegranates, and the contents and the nutrient value within this is not something of value to people? That's my question number one. Is this coming up to you, as I'm asked the question to my opponent speaker, is this coming to you from organizations which are commercially oriented in terms of getting the benefits of this marketing? I don't think so. These are coming up from universities. These are coming up from research journals, and these are coming up from organizations which are not commercially oriented. As my opening speaker said, increased sales of quinoa does not benefit one single organization. So how do we treat it as a marketing gimmick? And why a gimmick specifically? If there is something which is benefiting to us as general population, why do we call it a gimmick? By the same definition that my opponent speakers has used, we will say that climate change is a gimmick. The threat posed by plastics is a gimmick, is what, if I go by the same logic of my opponent speakers. What we have put forward to you is the point that the foods are increased, and this was also agreed by the opening speaker of the opposition when he said these are foods with enhanced nutrient value. I repeat his sentence. Superfood is a nutrient-rich food. This was the opening speaker of the opposition, not mine, the opposition. And if we are saying that is what is the case, then is the enhanced nutrient food, is it not better to us as individuals? So where is the gimmick associated with trying to fool you into buying something? And who gains out of it? We as individuals. We as people who then are made aware of what is the nutrients of this food. So in a summary, the point we are trying to make is the following. Superfoods are real. We are not talking about a marketing gimmick. The marketing associated is about creating awareness, and it is creating awareness about the value of the product which is good for us. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you, DTM Sandeep. And may I now once again invite on the virtual stage DTM Ravi to cross-examine DTM Sandeep.
Good evening, everyone. DTM Sandeep, we all agree that superfood is nutrient dense, no doubt about that. Is there any particular proportion which decides a food as like superfood? Yes or no? Is there any particular proportion of nutrients?
No.
Yes or no? No.
No.
Do you agree that carbohydrate is a nutrient, a macronutrient?
Yes.
Do you agree that sugar is very high in this macronutrient, carbohydrate?
Very high is a relative term.
Okay. Is sugar high in carbohydrate?
Again, a relative term.
Is it high
compared
or
to
low?
what? Compared to what?
Okay, sugar is high in carbohydrate. We all know that. Okay, let's go to the next question.
I will accept your statement.
Okay, an athlete who wants instant energy. Do you think a sugar-rich food is a superfood for that particular person?
Yes.
So why sugar is not classified as a superfood?
Sugar is a nutrient. It's not a food.
Sure. Carbohydrate is a nutrient which is high in sugar. So why sugar is not considered as our look? Now I rest actually. I don't have any questions to you furthermore. Okay. I'll come to my So thank you. Because I think I have established my case already. So can I go to my concluding statement?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you.
Just 1 second. Weren't we supposed to have a 2-minute break in a breakout room before the concluding statement? Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
May I now request the breakout rooms for both the teams so that they can have a discussion to present their summary.
Sure. When it is the men debating, the cross examinations are like killing.
We were so kind to each other when we debated.
They were so passionate, they sounded angry.
It was cool today, actually.
You know, it seems like a true debate.
Yeah, today.
Sandeep was naturally cool. More aggressive questions.
If it had been a physical setting, I think people would have started climbing over each other. That was the vibe I got. So passionate.
But that's how
You
the
did
debate
not
should be.
see our first debate, Ahanya. The first debate is like they ripped each other apart.
Yes.
Tell me about it. I felt like I'm looking at a parliamentary thingy where everybody's going to stand up and bang on the tables and shout at each other.
You will,
But man, such strong arguments.
Ajita?
No, but it's a difficult thing, man. This form of debating is very difficult.
It is.
And Vinod Panikar just noticed, huh? Yes,
You have to be so quick. You have to be so
look at his
quick.
preparation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every time one speaker comes out, I find myself siding with that person's argument. It's so good.
Okay. Are our debaters back?
You pose them a chicken and egg story now. Question. Who comes first? Chicken or the egg?
Are they back?
No.
Not yet.
It will take 30 seconds, I think, to for them to.
You should join only 175 dirhams for 6 months.
Yes, I think we have them all six of you back.
We are not charging anything extra.
That was not 2 minutes.
That was not 2 minutes. It was less than 2, Sandeep.
Yes, definitely.
I don't think
Okay.
we need more time.
The timer needs a superfood now.
Yeah. The timer was running on superfood.
Remember, y'all are still debating. We can have our fun later. So let us come to the concluding part of our debate. Our captains at the helm will now present their closing summary. Yes, DTM Ravi representing the affirmative team.
Debate master and dear Toastmasters, good evening once again. All of you would have already noticed how both the teams have approached this topic. Now, when we mentioned about the superfood, because the topic was superfoods, whether that is a marketing gimmick or not. This is the question. So we went from all the sides of that word, how that term was originated, how it is being used right now. What are the studies on that particular word by different universities, by different nutritionists, and how marketers are using it, and the statistics also, how people are using that particular term to push their sales. So every side we have attacked that, and we have clearly proved that it is a marketing gimmick. Whereas the opposition team, definitely they listed a lot of nutritional foods, yes, like which they just could have mentioned food. It wouldn't have made any difference whether it's stated food or superfood, because they said that even they agreed with us. There is no specific yardstick to say whether something is a superfood or not. One of the speakers from the opposition mentioned that a particular food is good, a superfood, for a particular person who is having diabetes. And going by the same yardstick, I said, for a particular person who is an athlete, sugar can be a superfood, which essentially means superfood is a relative term. There is nothing called superfood, it's just food. Some foods are good for some people, some foods are not good for some people. That is all. So when it comes to a conclusion regarding superfoods, whether it is superfood or not, as already stated, we said the definition of these keeps on changing. Our second speaker very specifically mentioned, because even sugar was like Coca-Cola, it was superfood once upon a time, and now it is not. And we also mentioned the example of quinoa. Actually, quinoa nutritional profile is very similar to lentil. However, one is there as nutritional food and superfood, one is not. Why? Because marketing. One of the questions that I received from opposition was, why, do you think any food, any superfood is bad? No food is actually bad, because it's on relative terms. So we have, I think, from all these things, since the term originated as marketing gimmick, and it is being used as marketing gimmick, since there is no standard definition for that, and since all the statistics and all the studies support that it is a marketing gimmick, I request the House to pass our motion, superfoods are a marketing gimmick. Back to you.
Thank you, DTM Ravi. And now, to wrap up this debate, may I call upon DTM Deepa to give us her closing summary, speaking against the motion.
Thank you, moderator. Good evening again. We have seen that no evidence, no clear evidence has been given by the proposition team to prove that superfoods are a marketing gimmick. The opposition team clearly we clearly mentioned that with proper evidences, proper research topics, we clearly proved that superfoods are not, no, we are standing against the superfoods are a marketing gimmick. When asked the questions on Coca-Cola or sugar or whatever, they were not able to give us any proper response with proper evidence or research papers. Maybe they were lack in preparation. Let us examine the case presented by both sides today and see the disparity within the viability of our arguments. First of all, let us talk about the fact that a majority of the proposition was debating on a hypothetical topic. They have continuously argued the morality of whether or not superfood should be advertised as such, rather than whether or not it is actually a gimmick, or even their remaining arguments is built on the idea, the word super, Superman, He-Man, etc., or it is dishonest. In this, they have willfully, in this case, they have willfully ignored the actual definition of superfood presented, that is a food that is more nutritious than other foods. Due to this, they have gone off on tangents and to not interact with the opposition's argument in the at least. Therefore, they have not relieved the burden of proving that the term superfood is a gimmick. They didn't focus on that word at all. Let us now examine the debate arguments. Now, we have spoken about how superfood is a food with more nutrition than others. Again and again, we have repeated this with relevant supporting research papers, as I mentioned before, and we have proven to the House sitting over here that superfood is a marketing term, or that is not relevant, but it is a food which are more nutrients, helpful for the humankind. It is existing already there, and it is maybe marketing is done, which is giving us more awareness on using the importance of using this food or consuming this kind of food. And therefore, I beg the House to oppose the motion, superfoods are a marketing gimmick. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DTM Deepa. Thank you to all the debaters. You have indeed dished out a super debate for all of us here today. And we have ample food for thought. And this was most expected because we had super debaters, super Toastmasters debating on this particular topic. Now, for the audience, a question. Has Team Affirmative convinced you that superfoods are a marketing gimmick? Or has Team Negative proven that we truly benefit from superfoods and it's not a marketing gimmick? Let us know through your votes as you vote for the best debating team and the best debater this evening. May we have the voting polls, please? Yes. And while you vote, let me tell you my thoughts on this. Let the other poll also come on. While you talk about amaranth, acai, chia, kale, and spirulina, these are just a few of the superheroes of the food world. Now, whether they truly work or they don't, it actually depends on just one superhero. And that superhero is nobody else but you as an individual. Because I think the magic of any food or superfood, it works only when you cast the right spell. A spell that includes balanced nutrition, a fitness regimen, and a stress-free life. So wishing you all a super healthy life and signing off. I now hand back this virtual stage to a dynamic warrior princess, Toastmaster Ahanya. Why warrior princess? Because I asked her the meaning of her name yesterday, and I just fell in love with that definition. It's a lovely name. So over to you, Toastmaster Ahanya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijaya, for that lovely note about my name. I was stuck speechless for a second. Now, before I go on to talk about the theme, let me just tell you all that this day, this particular debate, I'm going to file it in my diary as a walk to remember, because man, what a debate. Every single speaker who started coming up, I'm like, okay, I'm supporting this side and I'm supporting the opposition. I'm supporting defamation. You guys had so much strength in every single point that was made. You left me confused about which team to support. Now, talking about a walk to remember. What makes a walk which we take every day, every minute, every second of our lives, something that is to be remembered? We are all 19 above, 20 above, 30s, 40s, and we have had so many walks in our life, but only some of them actually stand out, regardless of what it is. When we are talking about friends, every one of us had huge amount of friends in school, in college, while at work, in our neighborhood, but only some people do stand out, not everyone. When we talk about things that happened in our childhood, all of us have had memories which are good and bad, but again, only some of them stand out. Why? What makes them so special that those walks turn into be walks to remember? Let me tell you. For me, I walk to work daily, a regular physical walk, a 2 kilometer walk from home to work to home. Sometimes I'm in my phone taking the walk. I don't know what's happening around me. I'm like a horse which has its head covered. I keep on walking. I don't know who I'm crossing. Sometimes I might cross my colleagues even, but I don't know. And those things fade away in the coming days. But some walks, when someone whom you have known for some time hails you over, they'll be like, hey, Avi, you're walking to work? We stop. We take a few minutes to talk. We greet each other. We might reminisce about something. And that particular walk stands out because it was special. It made an impact on me. And I hope it made an impact on that particular person as well. So that impact in the monotonous line, that blip which makes us living beings in the heartbeat monitor, if it goes monotonous, we are dead. We aren't here. The every single blip is what makes us alive and what keeps us moving. And that blip in our monotonous walks is what makes those walks good enough to remember. At the end, I'll tell you how to make your walks worthy enough to remember. But for now, let me hand over the stage to a charming, dashing Toastmaster. Why I call him that? Because last year when I saw him in Our Moments of Truth in Burj, he had something that moved the stage, that had us so captivating that we were all staring at him. Let me hand over the stage to Toastmaster Vinod Raman, for whom walk means when you walk away from all your worries and taking a break and remind yourself of things that make you smile. And one walk he remembers is walking through the streets of Venice, breathing in the air filled with the smells of canals, food, and wine. Let me tell you, Toastmaster Vinod, for that 1 second, I went to Venice and came back when I read it. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ahanya. It would have been all 78 kilos of me that was moving the stage when I was at your club. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the table topics session of Take Debate. Before I start the session, I just want to ask everybody to switch on their videos so that we can quickly take a photograph. Lavanya or Anuradha, could you please click and then confirm once that's done?
Can we request Vinod Panikar, Samira, who else? Good evening, Robin Anand. We have a couple of Vinod Panikar, Ramesh Anantaraman, Sharon. Can you please switch on your video?
Mine is already on. It's Samira.
Ramira. Ramesh Anantaraman. DTM Ramesh.
One person who's missing, yeah.
Welcome, DTM Robin Anand.
He's apparently still the district director. That's good.
Okay. Pranav, can you take a picture? Done?
Done.
Okay. Thank you, Pranav.
All right. Now, we're going to do, since there's no non-Toastmasters here, you know how Table Topics works, you know the timings. What you don't know is how we actually do Table Topics here at Take Debate, and we're going to do it with a bit of a twist today. I'm going to start sharing my screen. Please let me know once you can see that. Okay. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, brilliant. So how this is going to work is I'm going to give you a scenario. And the first slide that you'll see is the explanation of the scenario. It's very short, accompanied by the first slide. You're going to have to take the story based on the scenario and the slide that's on the screen. Every 30 seconds, I'm going to change the slide, and it's up to you to either veer the story towards the slide or find a way to incorporate the slide in your story. Every 30 seconds. So you'll have a total of 4 slides per topic, including the first slide. Just to make it a little easier to view the timings, the 5th slide will be the red card, indicating that you've reached your 2 minutes. All right. The timings stay the same. And if in case anyone is unclear of how this is done, I've got one of my favorite guinea pigs when I try something new to take the first topic. Toastmaster Devlal Sahadevan, can you please step up?
A pig is here.
Brilliant. Your topic is you've just learnt a new recipe. Take it away.
Good evening, everyone. I have learned so many recipes in my life that I really do not know. If you ask me to point out one special recipe, it's pretty difficult. But what I really like, one particular recipe, which incidentally happens to be a superfood recipe, is avocados with fish. The fish needs to be freshly caught. The avocados need to be just ripe enough. And the bread rolls that are baked has to be hot and fresh from the oven. And then you also got to find somebody to give you company. In my lonely life, most of the time, That person who gives me company is my pet dog, who I also affectionately call him the avocado. He looks at me with those puppy eyes. Even if he has been fed, even if he's on a full stomach, he would just simply sit at the foot of the table and look at, asking me in a non-verbal communication, can't you give me at least one spoon? And what I do is I lift my shirt and I tell him, this is going to happen. This is what's going to happen to you if you overeat. You could be a small puppy, but can you imagine a small puppy with a big belly like that? I'm just trying to avert the disaster here. The only thing that I have in mind is your good health. Superfood or super fast food, it doesn't matter. We got to take care of our health. Otherwise, I'm going to have trouble finding a right mate for you. I'm already on puppymatrimony.com, and it's been how many years? You have already overgrown your little coop. Now, do not make it any more worse than me. You don't want to end up your life as an unmarried, unhappy, overweight puppy. Do you want that? Take food out of your mind. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devlal. So now you know how it's done. Our next volunteer is going to be Toastmaster Anuradha Kamath. Please step forward.
Yes, sir. I knew you would do this, Vinod. Come on. I'm always your guinea pig.
All right, Toastmaster Anuradha, you've rented a car and you are going on a road trip. Your time starts now.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I've always wanted to rent that beautiful Tesla, and today I've got it. And then I decided to take to the mountains, and there I go. Beautiful, beautiful mountains all along, and I'm driving all by myself. I wish I had a partner who would sit next to me and explain. We would keep talking so many beautiful things. And here we are going, and there, yes, I see this board. It's a bit of a confusion here. It says to the right it's Kottayam, left is Kottayam, straight is Kottayam. How does it matter whether it is Kottayam or it is Thrissur or any other place? We are together and I'm driving. And I'm driving this beautiful Tesla. So sexy, so beautiful. And I'm going. And then in Kottayam, I see this particular police car that is actually what I saw in the US last year. So I just think it's a dream. I'm seeing this on my mirror. I ignore him. I know he's right behind me, but I decide to ignore him. I think it's a dream, and then I move on. I'm only enjoying my drive. It doesn't matter. Even if it is the police, what does it matter? In a few minutes, I'm okay. What happens is he stopped me, and then I suddenly realized when I come out, there is this man in the dicky of the car. Oh my God, I know who this person is. How did he come here? No, it doesn't matter. Now I get to explain this to the police, and I just say he is my husband. I was off with my boyfriend, and that is my husband. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anuradha. Let's welcome Toastmaster Pooja Baburaj.
Oh, she had to leave.
She's had to leave. That's unfortunate. All right. Let's get, I want a lady, Toastmaster Samira. Is she there?
She left.
Oh, she left also. Very good. So now that she's back, Toastmaster Samira, your reward awaits you at the top. Your reward awaits you at the top. Your time starts now.
Respected tormentor, DTM Vinod, and all the other decent Toastmasters, good evening. Your reward awaits you at the top, and it is not easy to go at the top. You need to climb a lot of stairs, and you need to make sure that you are wearing a good suit, well presented, and you also must carry your laptop, your files, all the way at the top. And what is awaiting you at the top? Your success, your position, your dreams, your goals. And for that, you need to be prepared. Now, as you reach the top, they are going to push you down. Yes, people wearing blue t-shirt, they will tie you up in a rope and they are going to tell you jump, because always at the top there are people who want to push you down, demotivate you and things like that. But remember, there is also joy all the way down. You're going to see beautiful scenario as they push you all the way down, like Divya did in Whistler. And I still remember as Divya touched the water, she came out with her reward, an alligator. And if you remember, Divya, we cooked that alligator that night for dinner. It was absolutely amazing. And you know what? The topic should be your reward waits at the bottom, not the reward waits at the top. Because our reward was waiting in the water in which Divya jumped in. And you need to make sure that you take a change of clothes, because at the bottom you will have the alligator, and you will also be proposed by somebody whom you don't like. So do not be afraid to say no. Okay, Lavanya did that mistake. Anyways, so at the bottom, eat the alligator, enjoy the proposal, say no, and go home. Over to you, DTM tormentor.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Samira Khan. I will ignore the last comment. And let's get one of our guests, Toastmaster Rahul. Can I ask you to unmute yourself?
Hello, hi.
All right, brilliant. Topic 4. You've just met the hermit of the enchanted forest. You've gone for a walk in the enchanted forest and you've just met the hermit.
Okay.
Your time starts now.
All right. So I went for a walk in the tormented forest, in the enchanted forest, and I found myself facing this hermit. He kind of looked like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings and was kind of trying to grow a smaller tree out of a big tree trunk. I found that quite fascinating. So I decided to approach him and just watch him do his thing. And at that time I thought, hey, wait a minute. I need to ask him something. And at that time I had recollected that somewhere not long ago, I had found a box when I was backpacking across a beach somewhere in Eastern Europe. And at that time, I just couldn't open the lock because it was it had some kind of a weird puzzle on it, and I just couldn't find the key either or the clues to open it. So I decided to ask him, hey, what is it? And then the hermit actually gave me an answer on how to open it. So I immediately go back home and I open it, and what I find is a bunch of clothes. And I just didn't know what that meant. I mean, they look like it wasn't even washed, to be honest. Probably someone just didn't want to do the laundry and they tossed it across the beach, is what I was thinking at that time. But nevertheless, I decided to toss the box and then go back to my hometown, which was not so far away from that enchanted forest. And over there at my home, I found my parents watching TV, and there was this classic Kathakali dance performance going on. So I decided to leave all what I had, my mini adventure in the last day, and then, yeah, there you go. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rahul. Can I ask the timer, Ajita, do we have time for one last topic?
Yes, we are overshooting the time, but looking at the interesting topic, I want to see one more speaker. Hope TMOD and others online.
Okay. Last topic for the day. Toastmaster Karthikeyan, would you like to step up?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Toastmaster Karthikeyan is just another regular work day. It's just another regular work day. Your time starts now.
Post this COVID period, lockdown and other things, as the country was opening up, it is every day has been just another work day for me. Getting up early in the morning, and the lockdown period has actually kindled within me a lot of creative things. I like to sing, so nowadays I have to combine my daily chores with this creative urge. So I sing in the bathroom, using the shower as my mic. Sometimes I go on singing for so long that I lose time and I get late. And out I come, take my car and go drive towards work. It is traffic jam again on the roads. My God, I wish COVID stays for some more time and lockdown stay for some more time, because during lockdown the roads were empty, but now the traffic is so killing that I have to stay in the car for an hour and a half before I can even see something like a building. During this traffic jam, I have made friends, but when I get to work, there is so much of work that is piled up for me that every single person in the office is there asking me doubts, asking me to answer calls, showing me files, wanting me to help them out and everything. I get a severe headache every single day. And as I look at my screen, I wish I can join a Toastmaster meeting and listen to some nice speeches which will motivate me to continue my work. As I come out, I remember there's a big sign which says, just remember, someone out there is quarantined with your ex. And that gives me real pleasure. If I am suffering, there's another guy who's suffering more than me, because that ex of mine was such a horrible girl. And it really puts me back on my feet. And I say, whatever it is, I have escaped from my ex, and I feel sorry for the other guy who's quarantined, and I move on with my life with new zest and vigor. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Karthikeyan. With that, we come to the end of the table topic session. Can I quickly ask the timer if all of our speakers have qualified for voting?
Yes, all are qualified. You want to repeat the names?
Sure. Yeah, or we can get the
Okay.
poll up.
Okay, Toastmaster Devlal, who learned a new recipe, took 2 minutes and 8 seconds. Anuradha, who is on a road trip, took 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Shamira, who climbed up to get her reward, 1 minute and 58 seconds. Rahul, who met a hermit, took 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Karthikeyan, who was at his work, took 2 minutes and 8 seconds. All are qualified.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ajita. And there you have the polls. So while you all vote, I'm going to say thank you so much for the participation. Hope you enjoyed it. And with that, let me turn it back over to our lovely Toastmaster for the evening, Toastmaster Ahanya. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinod. We have wrapped up one of my favorite sessions in the Toastmaster meeting overall. Had I known the table topics are going to be this interesting, maybe I would have just attended as a guest. The topics were so good, I was tempted to just put up my hand and like, please, despite having a role, give me a chance to speak. Now, I'm going to introduce you to the evaluation panel moderator so she can take on the debate evaluations. And then we'll come back to talk about how to make your walks a walk to remember. Let me give you Toastmaster Smitha Vaidya, for whom walk means freedom. Breaking out of all the ties, freedom. And for her, a walk she remembers is a walk between home and school during her younger days, because that was when she made new friends and had the most fun. Over to you, Toastmaster Smita.
Thank you for that lovely introduction. Like they say, it's the bantering that happens before the Toastmaster meeting that bonds people. It was the chatting that happened after the school and before the school that made more friends for me. So, coming back to the debate on hand, wonderful. Let me congratulate both the teams for bringing to us a great, amazing debate today. Definitely deserves the tag great debate. Don't we all agree? And to evaluate that debate, we have a perfect combination of evaluators today. Both experts in technique of debating and the subject. If one is aware of all nuances of putting the right food on the table, and the other, a self-confessed foodie who's capable of expertly critiquing anything on the table that is put on the table. So we all know who is who here. So please welcome our panel of evaluators, District Director, Toastmaster Stephen George, and DTM Usha. One minute. So let's understand from them whether motion was resolved from which side, whether superfoods was a figment of imagination in the minds of marketing companies, or do we really need the label of superfoods? So just to organize the moderation, the evaluation today, while Toastmaster Stephen will be taking the lead for affirmative team, DTM Usha will be taking the lead for the negative team. And I will be asking questions in the sequence of the actual debate. So we will be talking about the opening statements of the affirmative captain first, and then we will be talking about the opening statement of the negative captain, so on and so forth. So shall we start our evaluation? So my first question goes to Toastmaster Stephen. Let's begin with the opening statement of the captain. Did the opening speaker grapple with the subject well in terms of key definitions, or shall we say lack of definitions, categorization in terms of scope of debate, the relevancy of the stand, and the strength of the substantiation? Over to you, Toastmaster Stephen.
Thank you, Toastmaster Smita, and thank you, Toastmaster Ravi, for switching on your video. Don't worry, it's not a cross-examination. It's just going to be some lovely evaluation. Thank you, Toastmaster Smita, for raising the bar so high that I critique anything that is on the table. But with regards to the opening speaker, I don't think there was much to critique as such. I'll tell exactly what I loved about Ravi's speech. It's first of all, he started off with what gimmick is, what food is. You went through the definitions, and one thing that absolutely was amazing in Ravi's speech was that he had research from so many different places. Like he had it from mental research, cancer research, UK, about University of Adelaide also have written down. So you had research from multiple places, which was really good and added a lot of meat to your proposition. The couple of things which I felt that the speaker could have done, and also I'm not going to the cross-examination right now, but the most important thing that has to be done by the opening speaker is to define exactly what each word is. I just felt that maybe the word marketing was also a key word which was not defined. So that's a key word that you have to do. And I think that was completely done by the the second speaker in the negative team. We had to go all the way to find out what definition marketing exactly is. So that was one thing. Second thing is, it is important to limit the scope of our debate. So when we say that superfoods, there is no definition at all. There is a definition for superfoods, which was done by the opposition team. But your point is absolutely right that there is no defined yardstick. Like, is it this much gram of carbohydrates or antioxidants is foods, this much grams of carbohydrates is not a superfood. So that is not there. But there is a definition. It is important to limit the scope to that particular thing. But overall, I love the research that he used. He was confident, he had structure to his argument, and I think it was a fantastic opening speech.
Thank you. I agree. I think they brought out a key fact of having a lack of definition for the term superfood. So can I request DTM Musha to shed light on the opening statements by the negative speaker?
Good evening, everyone. DTM Deepa opened with explaining that her team, she would do the first meaning, give the meaning of superfood, and then her team will take over. The second speaker will do the marketing, and the third speaker will talk about the gimmick, the 3 key words in the topic. She did that. And then she went on to explain about a few superfoods that she thinks that is very relevant and very helpful for everyone's health. And especially, namely, she did blueberries and acai berries and pomegranate. And she also brought in a research by the agricultural, some research paper she quoted. And she also went on to say that many things like, has been classified as superfood now, like leafy greens and beans and whole grains, brown rice, etc. And she also said that these are studies done by universities and not commercial companies. So that was her take on the topic.
Toastmaster Steve, on one question for you. Was there an indication of teamwork in the opening speaker's statement?
When we do an opening statement, I felt that there was teamwork. I would say, I think I will answer that question towards the end, because there was considerable amount of teamwork, because I noticed that the second and the third speaker carried on the points that were said. Like, for example, the fact that EU has banned superfoods, no yardstick on what superfoods is. So there was considerable amount of teamwork if you look at all the 3 speakers together, and I think that is not a point of concern for the opening team, actually.
Anything you want to comment on the delivery aspect of it?
No, I think the delivery was fine. I mean, he was very comfortable in his chair. And the passion that he showed during the cross-examination shows that he knew, and he didn't fall for any of Deepa's. I mean, the opposition team's cross-examination was very cool. So in that way, I think he was absolutely fantastic in terms of delivery. No qualms at all.
DTM Musha, your thoughts on delivery and teamwork in the negative?
Teamwork, like Stephen said, the first speaker, of course, DTM Deepa did bring and explain that her speakers, consequent speakers, will be explaining the other main words in the topic. That was, again, a sign of teamwork. And delivery, delivery could have been a little better by DTM Deepa. She could have had a little more practice, I think, and, that showed, of course.
Okay, so now we will move on to the second speaker in the affirmative team. So, Toastmaster Stephen, your comments on the cross-examination by the second speaker.
Yeah, so as DTM Ramesh was my teammate for the regional debates, one thing that he does exude is a very Zen-like figure. And now, since the story of Buddha was told, he continued with that Zen-like this one. With regards to the cross-examination, if I remember well, he just focused on one main question about, does superfoods have benefit for everybody? So that was something that he kept repeating. And one thing which I felt that was the cross-examination effective, if I have to conclude it in one word, the answer is no, because the other speaker was able to play around the fact without having specific. So what I would suggest is to ask very specific question, and if the answer is going round and round the bush, tell her to come back to the exact answer and try to make it as definite as possible, yes or no. I felt that part of it was a bit missing in terms of the cross-examination, but overall, he did make up for it in his constructive speech. But I felt that the cross-examination should have been more affirmative, aggressive, and a little bit to the point, and not allow the speaker to beat around the bush.
Yeah, there were a couple of more points which he could have picked on. Especially there was a very old research quoted by DTM Deepa, a very 2005. I mean, that was
2005.
The pick for asking. So I think they could have given some improvement on that front.
Answers 40 seconds for each question, then obviously then he won't be able to. He didn't stop her and say that let's move on to the next question. So that was actually well played by the opposition team, to be honest.
So, GTM Usha, do you want to comment on the cross-examination by the second speaker?
Should I be speaking about Deepa cross-examining the opening speaker?
Deepa's cross-examination by the second speaker.
Deepa's cross-examination by the second speaker. I'm lost, sorry.
Okay, you can speak about the constructive speech by the second speaker.
Okay. Yeah, Deepa's cross-examination was by DTM Ramesh Anantaraman, right? Yeah, again, like I said, like Stephen said, there were a few things which Deepa could have answered, but she didn't. She chose not to answer the last question. And she also brought in a few examples like yogurt and fish and all that, which I didn't find quite effective.
Okay. Okay, I think there's a bit of a confusion here. Can we?
Sorry.
Okay, now you can speak about the second speaker, DTM Usha, from the negative team.
DTM Vinod Panikkar?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, DTM Vinod Panikkar had a good definition on marketing. He brought in all the aims, the aim of the marketing industry, how they work. And it is just basically, he proved that marketing is what it is, and it's a superfood is a gimmick. He did that very well. And the only thing I didn't find relevant about it was the Ashirvad and the Krishna and the Buddha part of it. I think that wasn't needed at all. And it didn't make any sense to me.
Okay. Your thoughts on the third speaker, GTM Usha?
Please name the speaker so that I can find them on my notes.
The third speaker for
Sandeep.
Sandeep? I have to do Sandeep, right? Sandeep, as usual, what do I say? He again gave the explanation and gave the proper definition of gimmick, what gimmick is. And he again went on to say these are all university research and not, by big companies. So definitely, and quinoa, he went on to bring a very good point about quinoa not being, doesn't benefit from any organization. It is a superfood. So, and also compared it very well with plastics and global warming and all that. So that was done beautifully. And superfood is what it is, rich in nutrients and antioxidants, which was done pretty well.
Okay, over to you, Toastmasters. Stephen. Constructive speech of DTM Ramesh. Okay, we finished that. Constructive speech of DTM Sudhir.
We didn't do that constructive speech of DTM Ramesh, but I'll just quickly summarize.
Just kind of mentioned during the cross-examination.
Exactly. So no, I'll just quickly summarize because it's already yellow. With regards to DTM Ramesh, I felt that DTM Ramesh in this whole argument had some of the most effective points where he said about the fact that coconut oil was earlier categorized as a superfood, and then later it was poison, now it's superfood. Coca-Cola was marketed as a superfood earlier. Those were great points. But when you have effective points like that, you need to drill down exactly to those points. Rather than, for what he did basically is he repeated the points that was told by DTM Ravi, where he spoke about no defined yardstick, EU has banned superfoods, repeated the United Fruits Company. You have already said those points. You don't need to repeat it again by keeping on talking about it. If I had done the constructive speech, probably I would have taken 4 or 5 sentences and really drilled down on Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is nothing but sugar water, but it has been marketed as a superfood. When did they do it? How did they do it? When you actually do that, people will be like, wait a minute, is this sugar water? But they marketed it and they made it a gimmick and where in order to sell it as a superfood. So if we had done that, I felt that that could have been more effective, because you had only had one sentence on Coca-Cola. The other team, I think it was DTM Vinod, who easily just rebutted it by saying, can you give one statistic which proves that? So if you had done that research and drilled down on that point, that would never have had happened. With regards to DTM, I'm quickly moving to DTM Sudhir. I believe it was his first debate and he actually did quite a good job for a first debate. I just felt that there should have been a little bit more structure to the speech. So even if you're doing a constructive speech, you have to first rebut the points that were told by the previous speaker. So you need to, when you have 3 minutes, make sure that you spend at least the first minute for that, and then use just 1 or 2 of your points in order to build it. So I felt that in the full affirmative speech, probably, meaning the opening speaker should have defined the topic properly, and then because the topic is superfoods have marketing gimmick, probably have given proper examples which shows the fact that it's a marketing gimmick, by taking 2 examples for DTM Ramesh, 2 examples for DTM Sudhir. If that was done, I think it would have been a bit more effective. But overall, I think the team did a good job, but I just felt that there was a bit more structure that was needed, and only then can it actually be proven that that superfoods are a marketing gimmick. So for DTM Ravi seemed to have used all the points, the opening speaker, there was nothing left for the second and third speaker, which was not what I noticed for the other team. Actually divided and did like segregation of the points. But overall, I think the team as a whole did quite a good job.
Yeah, DTM Usha, so your overall comments on the negative team in terms of summarization and the entire stand of the debate.
Actually, as Stephen said, they had segregated each speaker for one main point of the topic. That was done beautifully. DTM Vinod Panikar got in a very latest research as well, which was a very good point, 2019, which was really good. And the examination by both DTM Sandeep and DTM Vinod was amazing. It was really good, well done, and they really did it well. So all that was good, and the summary was also done well. It could have been a bit more emphatic and a bit more believable. I felt it was a little lacking in that, convincing us. It was, because that is what I felt towards the end. Yes.
Slightly agree on that. But what I must really congratulate is our debate moderator for bringing such a super topic. It was a very classic, like I said, it's a classic idealism versus realism debate, which kind of came out in the closing speakers, negative closing speakers' views. They were the affirmative team was debating on the morality, not about whether it's a marketing gimmick or not. So kudos to both the moderator for bringing out such a topic and the team for fighting it out fully. And hope I don't think I am still not able to visualize whether there existed a product which was to be marketed or the marketing created a product. I have still not been able to figure out. So kudos to, so that means there has been a well debate on that, and kudos to my evaluators for trying to bring out the nuances in this cross-examination style of debating. Hopefully we have done some justice for the 20 minutes time we spent together. Over to you, TM Modi, Toastmaster Ahanya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Smita. Now it's time to evaluate the wonderful table topic sessions. For that, let me call upon one of my personal favorites in Birch Toastmasters, one of the ladies who did impress me to join me, Birch, one of the ladies who impressed me with the way she talks, walks, carries herself, etc., etc., etc. This is one of the divas of Birch Toastmaster, or distinguished Toastmaster, Divya Raj. I keep on calling you Toastmaster because it is very recent and very fresh. But when you say that DTM Divya Raj, it makes me personally proud because like one of my sisters has become DTM. For her, she has been with Toastmasters for 6 years. One of the impressive figures of Birch Toastmasters. I'm going to keep on saying that because that's something that comes out of me from within. For her, walk means synonymous to moving ahead. What is one walk she remembers is when she took her family to the beach last year around same time without all this problem of pandemic. Titi and Divya, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ahanya, for making me feel so special. Okay, now without taking anybody's time, first I have to give it to the man who came up with the idea of such a brilliant table topics. When DTM Vinod is entrusted with any role, you can be sure that there will be a twist. And what a wonderful twist we had in today's table topic. So thank you, Vinod, for bringing such an entertaining table topics to take debate today. Now, all the speakers, Devlal, Anuradha, Samira, Rahul, and Karthikeyan, all of them did a brilliant job. So I'm not going to dissect each and everybody. I will quickly just say a line or two about each of the speakers, because I think to attempt the kind of table topics that they did today was a feat in itself. And not only did they accomplish the feat, they accomplished it in style because they made us laugh. All 5 of them, they entertained us, they told a story, and they made us laugh. Okay. So Dev, I mean, I was in, humor is your forte, and it just came about in its full glory in that 4 slides that Vinod gave you. My only, probably, if I was in your place, I would not have done the justice you did, but in the last slide, the twist I really loved is what you ended up, marrying or getting your dog married, or, it was the whole thing of taking marriage to your pet was the climax of your table topics, I felt. And it was very, very nicely done. Nothing to say. Your expressions, gestures, everything just fell in place. Beautifully done. And to imagine you standing in front of mirror with that big belly was, I mean, firstly for me, that was my highlight. Okay, so well done. Anu, I mean, brilliant attempt, or a very good attempt at your table topic, and with the twists and turns that Vinod gave you, I think it was a good attempt. The only thing I felt, because it was soon after Dave's, your pace of delivery and was exactly the same. I mean, there were no highs and lows, no excitement. You with your boyfriend, with your husband locked up in the, in the boot. So that up and down ride is what I probably would have loved to see in your table topic. But otherwise, very well done. Samo, I loved the way you took care of those minute details, the blue colored t-shirt, and dressing up, wearing heels, carrying your laptop bag, all the finer details of the picture. That tells me that you're a very keen observer. And for an otherwise difficult table topic, I think you did a fantastic job. And humor again is your forte, so, and you dragged me into your table topic. I felt nice about it. Rahul, you met the hermit in an enchanted forest. And then you got a box. And then you went backpacking in Eastern Europe. And then suddenly from Eastern Europe, you landed in Kerala. I know you went back to the enchanted forest and then landed in Kerala. How that happened, I don't know. But yeah, I think when those slides come up, it is your mind has to be in sync, and it's not that easy. But I think you did a fine job. And Karthikeyan sir, I think like Dave, you are another master of what do you say, humor. And again, in your table topic attempt, your climax was the highlight. When you see the signboard that your ex is with that gentleman, normally a person like me would feel bad, man. Why is my ex with somebody else? And you were like, I suffered, you also suffer. So that was a brilliant climax. So all in all, I thoroughly enjoyed the table topics. Each and every speaker was brilliant. And thank you very much, DTM Vinod. And back to you, Ahanya.
Thank you so much, JTM Divya, for that wonderful evaluation. Now, to wrap up the day, I'm going to tell you 3 ways about how to make a walk remembered. First thing is catalog the walk. What happened? If it's something is significant, you have to remember. What exactly is significant about that particular incident, which is worth remembering? It could be a person, it could be an emotion, it could be something that made you feel deeply. Make sure make sure to identify that significant thing and catalog it. Second, connect it with our emotions. As humans, our most wonderful sense is the ability to feel different things, whether it be anger or sadness or happiness or anything that's in between. We are capable of feeling those. And what makes incidents worth remembering is the emotion that left behind in our hearts by that particular incident. So connect it with your emotions. This particular person makes me happy. This place reminds me of a dark side in my life. Connect it with your emotions. And the third and the main way is make a conscious effort. Because when you make a walk worth remembering, it's not just about you. You're making someone else's day special. You're giving someone else something to remember you, the world, and the smile to, keep with them. You're giving them a gift, which is free of you to produce. You don't have to spend anything to do it. And you make someone's life, day, and everything overall better. So make that conscious effort to put the smile on someone's face, to make someone's day worth remembering, and to in retrospect, when you do that for others, it automatically comes back to us thousandfold. And every day we live, every walk we take becomes something worth remembering. So I urge you all to use my small amount of wisdom and make your days a walk to remember. Over to you, President Toastmaster Lavanya, to finish up this beautiful session.
Thank you so much, Dynamic Warrior Princess Logan. That was a wonderful session. And, I didn't feel even for a second that you are not part of Take Debate. It felt like you were a charter member, you're part of our club. You have a brilliant ability to connect yourself and, connect with everyone. Thank you very much. For me, today, attending Take Debate was the best part of the day, even though Samira reminded me of the biggest mistake of my life. Wonderful meeting. Now, let's ask our guest, how did they find today's meeting? Some quick feedback. Who would like to go first? We have Rahul, Devlal, Robin Anand. Rahul, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. I must say thank you to DTM Divya Raj for inviting me, and I think I had a blast. I think it's the first time I've been to Take Debate, and also the first time I'm witnessing a debate like this. And I must say, it blew my mind. I will be back for your next session as well. and I've already begin thinking, that this is something that I may want to do very soon. So, yeah, thank you so much for having me. Over to you.
That's wonderful, Rahul. Devla.
I had a lot of fun, and contrary to what I claimed at the beginning, I was actually invited by Vinod Raman. Ravi also partially invited me, so I will split the invitation between these two. I had a lot of fun, and in spite of Vinod actually had warned me that you would give me the first topic, but it's okay if you call me a pig. You must have seen me having dinner sometime, so it's cool. Oh, by the way, to all the members of the club, I'd be joining the club pretty soon.
Great news. We are very, very happy to have you.
Thank you, ma'am.
And our immediate first district director, Robin Anand.
I keep coming back to this club, and I think today Vinod's table topic was so hilarious that I was having so much fun, especially when Anuradha was speaking and she discovered her husband in the dicky. I was like, man, this is it. I think if Vinod can get people like Anuradha to say these things on public, I think it's amazing. So Vinod, I think hats off to you, man. I think, and you kind of told, I was dilly-dallying whether can I really find time to join this wonderful club, but I think now I should, because I also want to discover what all is there in my mind. Sometime you'll put me in a spot and things will come out, and then maybe I'll discover myself. So I think it's a good idea. But thank you for having me.
Thank you, Robin Anand. Have I left anyone? Okay. Now quickly, a few announcements. One, for the next 6 months, we have revised our fees to 175 dirhams. It comes to, just 29 dirhams, 15 fils. So please invite your family and friends if they're interested to join our club. And we will have our club debate contest on October 21st. That is the second meeting of October. And we will have on September 9th a members only meeting just to conduct Moments of Truth. And to brief you about that, the Moments of Truth will be conducted by our immediate past president, Vijaya. She's been on the ExCom for 3 years, and she's a chartered member, and we thought she would be the best person to do Moments of Truth. Vijay, can I request you to give a brief introduction to the Moments of Truth we are going to do on September 9th?
So, good evening, everyone. So after the great fight and then the great laugh comes the great moment of truth. Well, as I don't really need to brief you all because you all are very senior Toastmasters. However, for me personally, Moments of Truth is an introspection. I think it was C.J. Jung who had said that your visions become clear only when you look inside your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, and who looks inside awakens. So when we began our walk, Take DeBait, we began our walk 3 years ago. And it is time now to look at within ourselves and determine how we are faring as a club, where our strengths are, to evaluate ourselves. So towards this end, we are going to take this exercise, and I request each and every member to please fill in the survey form. We have tweaked it a little bit to customize it for our club. We will be sending it out tomorrow. And what we plan to do is we have slotted you all into various groups for each of the 6 pillars. And we will take one representative from each group to come forward and present your findings on that particular pillar of Moment of Truth. So tomorrow, do expect in your WhatsApp and your emails the group which has been formed, as well as the survey. And I would request all of you to take this opportunity to give us your feedback and voice out everything that you feel about this club. It is your club. And like, we are a family, and I think it's time for us to speak and tell everyone the truth. Nothing is going to be judged or taken against you. It is time for us to go further in this walk successfully. So over to you, Lavanya.
Thank you, Vijaya. And I urge every single member to attend September 9th Moments of Truth. And whatever you need to say, it's just going to be a members only affair. And we will also be presenting treasury, and we will discuss, we have been keeping track of when the roles taken by the members. We will present that as well, and we will discuss on that. And yeah, about September 9th. Now, quickly, it's announcement of winners. Can I request everyone to unmute? We need applause. Yes. Now, the best table topic speaker for today's meeting is none other than speaker Nanda. Oh, sorry. I'm not able to change it. Right. Just 1 second.
No, it's okay. I will.
Pastor Devlal, please give a big round of applause.
Actually, yeah, okay. It's okay.
And the next best debater is DTM Vinod Panikar. And the best debate team against, that is Deepa Surendran, Vinod Panikar, and Sandeep Vendasakar. Congratulations to all the winners. With that, I declare meeting number 34 closed. Until we meet again on September 9th. Good night. Take care.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Special thanks to you for taking up the TMOD role.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me, and thanks Divyaka for giving me that opportunity.
Great job, Ahanya.
Thank
Look forward
you.
to meeting you again.
Hope so. Thank you. See you all.
Good to see you, DTM Robin.
Good to see you too.
And I hope you do join the club.
No, I just decided to join. Vinod sold this to me. So, you need to keep the standard same, eh?
Absolutely no issues. We will get you Anuradha's bank details right away.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Okay, good meeting.
Yes, good meeting. Vinod, you must do this TT again. I do so want to be part of it. I was dying, but then I said I've spoken too much already.
Maybe we should have an extended table topic session.
Truly.
Definitely, we can do it.
Okay, good night.
Can I get some feedback? I'm dying for feedback.
No, it was good. It was good, Smita. I think, at least for me, I think this format is a panel evaluation is probably better suited for the other format of debate, because this is too many people to evaluate. You're going back and forth with too many. So I think probably for our part, we should have done that. But the questions asked were pertinent, and you did manage to, make sure that all of the speakers got feedback. So that was good.
Yeah.
The good part about this is it allows us to get a few more role players on board, which is also what we're trying to achieve.
I had
one thing we could do is, because see, when you're evaluating such a format of debate, for one person to in totality evaluate is difficult. So even though you had two people, we could have one person focusing only for the cross examination.
Yeah,
one evaluator who only focuses on everybody's cross examination. And the others only focus on the constructive speeches. I think that might work easier for the evaluators also.
Yeah, true. That's also an option. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Then we will evaluate.
Smita. Chal, I'll take your leave. Good night, folks. So, Lavanya, I'll send out the form tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
And
we'll have to.
Sorry, so Vijay, you want me to send it out?
You can, if you want to. Yes, you've created the form, right? So
Yeah, I was just thinking whether to send it via email or via WhatsApp, because what I want to try and do is maybe I'll just create a sample survey and send it out via WhatsApp. And I want to see how it's tracking the responses. I don't know how this forum actually tracks the responses.
okay.
Because
My suggestion would be to send it both by email as well as
sure,
WhatsApp.
okay, I'll try it tonight or tomorrow morning, and then I'll send you the
Okay. So
I'll
then
message
will you also send out the group Excel which Divya had made?
Vijaya, that better use.
Or you want me to send it?
You're the one.
Yeah.
That notice.
Okay, I'll send it.
So what I'll do is with the sending via WhatsApp, I'll give you the link. You can post it.
Okay.
Sending via email, I'll do that.
Okay, fine. Not a problem.
All right.
Okay. Good meeting today.
That was a very good topic.
Yeah, it was a very even topic.
Yeah. Because I realize for this format of debate, one needs a topic where both sides can present.
Yeah.
You know, we have to really think when you're picking up a topic for this cross-examination style. For the other style, it doesn't really matter. But this one needs to pick out the right topic where both can speak. Otherwise, it becomes one-sided. Okay. See you.
All right. Thanks all. Good night.
Good night. Take care.